Hi Manifestors, Meera Allen here with your Manifesting Destiny Moon Update. So today we are going to go through the new moon in Sagittarius that is coming up, and I will tell you the times. It is, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. I usually do a new moon and a full moon update and occasionally a little manifesting video, and I do have little meditation videos as well for you. Okay. New moon in Sagittarius. So the key words for this new moon is healing, seeing the funny side of life, seeing the bigger picture, adventure, and also direction. Before I give you guys the times and things, I just wanted to let you know, I did a meditation before and sat with a deck of cards from the Healing Waters Oracle deck. And the overarching card that I pulled out of the deck was so beautiful. So this is going to set the tone for the rest of this reading, and whatever intuitively comes through, it comes through, but I will try and be as practical as well as I can. Momentum is building. It is your time. Achievement. Making waves. So this card is beautiful. I'm going to show you this card here. I hope that's really clear for you. And you can see that almost like this conjuring up, this calling in of this energy that's supporting through the elements. So it's quite a powerful and magnificent image. And I love how the moon is right up the top and there's energy beaming down, almost otherworldly. And sometimes Sagittarius is, yes, it's a fire sign, and yes, it's a centaur, and it's, half man, half horse. And it has intellect on its side and analysis and intelligence. But it also has grounded agility and capacity to get to where it's going. So this, if you're getting to this reading today, and if you've stumbled here by accident, welcome. This message is that you are here to make waves. You are here to follow your true destiny, your true goals, your true path. You are already forging that way ahead, and it is your time now. Truth is always coming out of individually who we are. We cannot ignore the natural state of who we are as human beings. We innately know, like for me, I always knew I could sing. I always knew I could dance. I always just knew creativity, art, and music was just part of my life. As much as I tried to push that down and focus on a corporate career, the truth of me eventually came out and became more of a success for me because I'm living the truth of the life that I've always dreamed I would live. Since I was 7, I always knew. So, conjure in those energies now on this new moon. So have a look at this and really let yourself bring that energy in, call it in, whether you believe in God, the spirit, the angels, your goals, or you're very practical, like use what it is, the tools that you need to give you those momentum and that achievement, and give you those feelings of absolute clarity that you are going forward into the place that you want to forge ahead to. And that's what centaurs do. They're half man, half horse with their bow and arrow. And I love centaurs. I love that Sagittarius idea and ideal. So let's look at the times. I run ahead with myself sometimes. Anyway, the times of this new moon. London, it's on the 12th of December at 11:32 at night. Sydney, Australia, 13th of December at 10:32 in the morning. LA is the 12th of December at 3:32 in the afternoon. And New York, it's 12th of December at 6:32 in the evening. And remember, you can always look up, just Google where you are for your new moon for your city or your nearest city, and you can find out when your new moon is. The other overarching words for this particular new moon in this climate that we're in on this earth right now, it's truth and light coming to the fore. It is forging ahead with your own sovereign direction. It's choosing a path that you knew and have always known that has brought you to a higher vibration and frequency. I often talk about frequency in my channels and little updates because frequency is all what we're made of. When you think of frequency in a really mundane level, it's music you listen to, has a frequency, has a vibe. When you think of it as a quantum frequency, the things that we really can't see and we can't hear. That frequency, that tone, that energy is a vibration that shifts. So you know when you're around certain people, your vibration, your energy, your frequency is lifted. And you know when you're around other people, maybe your energy feels a bit heavy and that feels a bit lower and that frequency drops back down a little bit. Understand your own personal energetic frequency that brings you to a vibration that you feel like, yes, this is the vibration, this is the vibes, this is literally the resonance that I want to feel in my blood, I want to feel in my waters, I want to feel in myself. Gravitate towards that. There's certain music that will lift your frequency. I've been listening to so much of this subliminal, just powerful music at night when I'm falling asleep, and it runs for like 8 hours in the background, and I love it. It's been a huge part of shifting my frequency for my own healing of my ball and socket of my hips and all the crazy hypermobile things that I've been going through. So that music frequency has been hitting me in my subconscious while I'm sleeping. So I want to share that with you. So there's ways that we can go towards our goals. The traditional ways is, writing a goal, setting a time frame, doing it in a very traditional way. But this is not a very traditional channel. I want you guys to shift a little bit away from the 3D mindset, because that's very slow. That's the governments and the bureaucracy and the paperwork and not writing so much, but the slowing of things down, because it has to have a very three-dimensional step by step kind of way. But this is not how nature is. Nature unfolds, the storms unfold, the rains come, and the flow of nature. And we've been having crazy winds up here lately, and nature has her own way of causing miracles and things to happen in her own vibration and frequency and timing and weather patterns. And it's to remind us that we are part of that nature. And right now, especially as we're on this last day of this waning moon, I was so close to recording the video yesterday, but I'm glad I didn't yesterday morning, because I would have been in a rush to get to my chiro. I had 2 sound healings to do for a corporate group, and it would have been too rushed, and that's not the natural flow of life. So I'm so happy that instead I've had an awesome Mexican dinner with some friends. It was just awesome, really awesome things that happened in the past 24 hours, and I let go of a lot of actual physical things on this waning moon, cleansing my own space and old decor and things like that. I just got rid of, and I was like, right, I need to cleanse and shed and let go before I could make the space. I even trimmed my plants and did a whole bunch of things on the waning moon to get to this space this morning where I felt really truthful with myself, with the connection to the collective consciousness, all of you, and with that part of us that comes from that divine frequency. I need to have a little drink. I even put in good vibes into my tea, and really had that intention to do this video from a place where I didn't have to rush, and I could listen deeply in to the truth of who I am to serve you all better. So that particular card is all about achievement. You can get it done, and it can happen in ways that are more linked, not attuned to the 3D, but more linked and attuned to the celestial, attuned to nature, attuned to the truth. Something about truth that I watched recently was when Elon Musk spoke about if advertisers stopped advertising on X, formerly known as Twitter, if they stopped advertising, he was like, well, then don't advertise. Enough. He didn't need their money. He said, you're trying to bribe me with money. And the truth of what he wanted to say was very, very clear. So look up that video. It was quite amazing. So it is your time now to trust that. There is a feeling, though, in the collective consciousness at times where there are stagnant waters, and where there's this feeling of like, I'm in a waiting room, or am I being held back? Trust when we have that feeling of stagnant waters, or things are just kind of brewing. Trust in the time that it's going to take. We never yell at a plant, why aren't you bearing fruit now? We know to nurture it. We know to to tend to it, we know to fertilize it, we know to give it the nutrients that it needs, and then it flourishes and it bears fruits exactly when we need to have it appear. It's just divine, and it has its own timing and its own rhythm. Now, the new moon is that rhythm. That new moon is when the sun, the moon, and the earth are all in a straight line. So what is happening is the moon's actually right in between. So say the sun is here. Say the sun is here, and then here is the moon, and then here is the earth. So what's happening is this blockage, this shadow is happening. So you're not getting, from earth, we're not getting the light of the sun on that face of the moon, because it's on the other side of the moon. So we're getting this darkness that we're seeing. So it's all dark at night. So that exact divine alignment is happening when we have a new moon. And then when it starts to shift again, it's when that tiny little sliver of the waxing phase of the moon starts to grow, and it looks like this magical storybook little C curve of a sliver. And when that starts to grow, that's why, traditional farmers, they know to plant their seeds, sow their seeds on that new moon, and a little bit more light and a little bit more light and a little bit more light starts to illuminate their crops, their gardens, their whatever they've put in to grow. What are your intentions for the truthful part of yourself? Just like that centaur, you're half man, half horse, holding his bow and arrow and shooting and waiting. Might feel stagnant, but waiting until it's the right divine moment to let go of that bow and arrow and shoot for that truth of your goals, of what it is that you'd like to achieve. And it doesn't really matter what facet of life it is. It could be your purpose, something as big as your dharma, your purpose here on earth. It could be as little as, well, I've been zhuzhing my home, like changing all my decor to light. I just changed everything that was from old or past, or I even had cushions and throw blankets that were from my marriage when I was young, like when I was, how old was I? I was 21, and I couldn't let go of these beautiful Morgan and Finch things from my high school friends. So shout out to Justine, Lara, Vicky, Alison, all that little crew from my high school, that I held onto these blankets and onto these cushions because it had this sentimental attachment, and I've held onto them for like 20 years and wasn't willing to let them go. And just this waning moon, I've had the ability to really go, well, that physical object didn't represent the love of those people. I still have the love for those people within me, and it's okay to let it go. So it was interesting to see I had such an attachment to them, and to actually let that go was huge for me. So it seems tiny in the realm of life and the world and wars and politics and whatever else is going on in terms of the planet Earth. But all we've got to do is focus on our little individual detail goals, especially this new moon. Look at those little facets of your life that you think, okay, I would like to see this happen here. I would like to see this look like this. I would like to see my health like this. I would like to see my home like this. I would like to see my social activities and my family and friends like this, especially coming up to Christmas. Like, what is your highest, most beautiful ideal and vision? If your life really was excellence and perfection, allow yourself to enjoy that. What does it look like when you spend time in nature, and how did you always vision that? So when most people write their 5-year goal plan, and instead of letting yourself look at it as a 5-year plan, bring that 5-year plan as if it was in the present moment. For me, I booked Croatia a couple of years ago to go to a drum and bass festival, and it got cancelled because of COVID and blah, 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 blah. And then just so easily, it's now I am going to Croatia for this festival, and it's just been like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And it just became effortless. It didn't have to become a 5-year goal plan. It became, okay, this is what I really want to bring into my life now. And I want to bring in that drum and bass, and I want to bring in those more oceanic trips and just be by the beach and the waters more and more and more. So things can really shift for you, but the biggest part is believing and seeing it and feeling it and living as if it is in that now. So remember this achievement, these making waves, in terms of your waves, your blood, your frequency, your body, you're making these waves because the momentum is building, and it is your time now. This is your time to have these opportunities come your way, to have the synchronicities get even stronger. We're in a really cool time right now where your frequencies can get really low and you can look at everything from a burden or a victim state mentality and think, oh, look what's happening with the planet and look what's happening with climate change and, look at all this. But the more we focus on those things, the heavier and the more of a burden it becomes, and we end up carrying that energy with us. So we've got to remember, especially the light workers on this earth right now, we are the ones that need to remember that we can shift our energy and attention, because this is the most important thing right now, and especially when the sun and moon are in Sagittarius. So happy birthday to Saggies that are in your season. It's an important thing to focus on the life and the vision of what you want to create, rather than the hindrances of what stops you from allowing that to come your way. Because what we look at gets the energy, the attention, the frequency in ourselves, and we start to align it. So when you look at quantum entanglement, it's how we align to things. Me drinking out of a mug, saying, good vibes. When I did this reading, I looked at all my cups and I was like, what is it that the collective consciousness, what is it that we need right now in order to manifest and use this new moon in Sagittarius to really assist our goals? And the answer that I got, I looked at the soulful mug and I looked at it. I looked at the little things. I have little sayings on all my mugs so that it affects the frequency of the water. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, look up Dr. Emoto, E-M-O-T-O, a Japanese scientist that looked at the molecules of water when intention was put into it, and how that shifted and adjusted the crystals that were recorded. So everything from the word thankfulness, gratefulness, love had a really beautiful frequency, and these crystals that he photographed was, microscopic molecular structures. They looked like snowflakes and stars. It looked amazing. And then when you said the words like hate or disgust or negative words, how it affected the molecules was absolutely just destroying the structure. So when you think about the liquid inside us, we are 70-80% liquid. What with intention, what vision do we want to put in? Remember, Saggy is a fire sign. So what energy in that fire, in your motivation and your passion, do you want to bring into the frequency of your blood, of your subconscious, of the part of us that does automatically create? Me listening to subliminals at night to go into my hips and heal has been part of a lot of things, but I feel strongly it's been working because it's just going in there with these binaural beats and these frequencies. So it's shifting my vibration. So allow yourself to truly receive this time of shifting your frequency by putting your attention into the things that you want to manifest the most, into the life that you want to create, into your own reality. Right now, there's an energetic war on our attention. We can scroll, we can look at, what are the social medias called? TikTok and all the social medias. Or we can choose to put our energy elsewhere, and we can really give ourselves that momentum to move forward to our own inner goals, spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, career-wise, whatever it is, So put that in, and I just suddenly started shuffling the cards. And it's something, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm going to wrap up pretty soon now. After I pick this last card for the collective consciousness, what is it that they need to focus on? What do we all need to focus on? Dear great, beautiful spirit, what do we need to focus on for this new moon in Sagittarius? Attunement. I call upon the sacred healing waters of the earth. I call upon the heart and the whisper within the heart. I call upon the sacred healing waters within me. I allow this to be the reflection working through me in ways that are truly helpful. I call upon the sacred healing waters around me, the waters of the air and the waters of the sky. Please guide me to hear the wisdom and let these cards be vehicles to support revelation. Reveal to me what is unseen and allow everyone to reflect and be mirrors for me. I now connect with the wisdom deep within. I call upon the sacred healing waters within me. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will catch you on the next moon update, or maybe before that. Namaste. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed.